This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Boundaries aren't just a trend or a buzzword. They're important for a healthy life. Visit betterhelp.com/allies and see what setting boundaries means for your life.
Hello, and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Daniel Bloodworth, your moderator. This week, I'm joined by Brandon Jones.
Thanks for having me.
Michael Huber.
Yo.
And in the control room, Isla Hink.
Hello.
Jones is over here.
I love it. I love this. This is so great.
Distinguished
you,
guests,
Jones.
we're here to discuss some of the biggest news in video games this week. But before we do that, we must answer for the mistakes we made on last week's show.
Atone for your sins,
Isla,
Worth.
Confuse
begin
me.
corrections music, please.
Confuse me.
For some dumb reason, I got the Wojnar brothers mixed up in Jason's update. I don't know if either of you guys have been aware of this since you haven't been on the podcast as much, but Jason Wojnar has been living in Ukraine.
Yep.
And had to escape, and I got him and his brother Zach mixed up.
I was going to say
also
Zach
been
would be
getting
the other. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
but Jason's safe in New York now. Zach has been in New York the whole time. Yeah.
Wow.
So sincere apologies for the little mix-up. Just getting updates from both of them. Somehow my wires got crossed. We talked about how Lara Croft hasn't used her iconic dual pistols in the rebooted
I knew this
trilogy.
was coming.
There was briefly at the end of the
That
first
one-
game.
Yeah.
The
It's
helicopter,
like a
right?
5-second clip.
The
Like,
helicopter.
it's like a quick time event. Where's that helicopter?
Or something. I remember
She
that,
just
though.
picks up another one, has like an extended magazine or whatever. Also, crazy thing I found, I think it was one of the comments turned me onto it, and then I looked at the scene. Somebody had found on Shadow of the Tomb Raider an alternate, like, post-credits ending
Whoa.
that had other stuff in it that's not in the official canon ending.
Whoa.
And so one of them, there are dual pistols like on a little table behind her desk,
Shit.
like under the rest of her weapons. Also in there, there is a letter addressed to Lara from Jacqueline Natla, who is like the
Natla,
villain
oh, yeah.
of the first game.
Oh, yeah.
Wild.
But it was cut, like it was
Miss
like in the
Natla.
canon version. If you actually like got the day one patch, you never saw. It's not you're not
Whoa.
meant to see it.
Whoa.
But unpatched, there it is.
Buried too deep. Just thinking.
Wild. Love that stuff.
Yeah. Isla, James S.A. Corey is actually the pen name used by the co-authors of the Expanse series. Their names are Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank.
Wow.
So we can assume they just like the name James.
I never knew that. That's crazy. I need to look into these guys.
And then when we were talking about the Max Payne film, Ben and Isla were vaguely remembering angels or demons or something in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Never seen it. Never seen it. Never made the time.
So those are actually
Horrible.
Valkyries.
Oh.
Specifically, they're
'Cause of the drug.
hallucinations brought on by the super drug called Valkyr, which is maybe a stand-in for Max's painkillers, but it also has like a bunch of lore behind
In
it.
the game, there's the Valkyr drug.
And it's like creating super soldiers and stuff. But
I don't think it
Val-
goes into super soldiers. I
Yeah.
don't remember that plot line.
Yeah, this is blue goo or whatever. It's separate though from Max's painkillers
Yeah.
in the game, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it seems to be sort of like the only representation it has in the movie. I don't know.
Crazy.
I haven't seen the movie, just was reading.
Saw it in theaters once. Never again.
Yeah, same. I think I rented it once.
And if you have a correction, leave it in the YouTube comments on either the early access version or the public version, and put a little timestamp in there, because half the time people bring something up and like, when did we say that? What was that?
Nice.
The timestamp helps me go back and it's like, okay, this is what we said. This is what they're correcting. Sweet. So thank you very much. End corrections music.
Boop.
Nice.
I've been doing a lot of catch-ups and updates and things like that, and I feel like this week, we were just talking about Max Payne, Huber. You weren't here for last week's Max Payne. We need the Huber take
Yes.
on the Remedy Rockstar reunion.
So hyped.
Max Payne 1 and 2
This
remake.
I never thought this would happen. This is so out of nowhere, and it's so perfect. It's such a dream. Max Payne 1 one of my all-time favorites, and there's just nothing really like it. You know, Dead to Rights
Still.
obviously is kind of
a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit of that. And the fact that Rockstar and Remedy are both involved. You know, Rockstar took over with Max Payne 3 there.
Some divisive takes on that.
On 3?
Yeah. Like
Max Payne 3?
Yeah, because last week, some people were like just kind of hated
I'm
Max
totally
Payne
split.
3.
Yeah, I'm 50-50
Other people
on
were
that
like
game, yeah.
coming to its defenses. And
I like 1 and 2 more. 3 has some rock solid gameplay. I love it. There's a lot of little, like Rockstar GTA style, Jones, just all these little cool details, you know? Like when you have a shotgun and a pistol in Max Payne 3, he'll hold the shotgun and then pistol and like put it away, you know?
Kind of some Red Dead multi-weapon handling animation stuff that
Yeah.
you could see kind of the team. Yeah.
And really good, like, enemies dying in Max Payne 3. They just like crumple in really realistic, awesome ways.
Yeah.
Max Payne 3, yeah. But definitely like 1 and 2. Because it's all about the tone. 1 is such a gritty, dark, noir tale. 2 is as well, but 1 has just that extra layer of edge and mystery.
Supernatural almost.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Nightmarish. Freddy Krueger parts, you know, just like some really creepy stuff.
Totally. And just really, just a really intense story of a man with nothing to lose, you know? I really, really love it. And obviously Bullet Time is legendary.
yeah. So here, you played these when they first came out on PC? Put us in that place.
Dude, my mom, I can put myself right there. My mom took me to EB Games because I remember looking at Max
Yeah.
Payne in the magazines. They showed off their fire a lot in the magazines. There's a part in the game where this building goes up in flames, and it's some of the best fire I've ever seen in my life. That fire was 10 years ahead of anything. I'm extremely looking forward to the lighting and the fire in the remake. Those
Yeah.
are 2 huge parts. I want like really awesome noir shadows with like really intense explosions and fire.
And it's on the same engine as Control.
Yeah.
It said, yeah.
But
The
I remember,
physics, dude.
I remember getting the box. It was still the big PC box, but inside of it, Max Payne was the very first game I ever got in a DVD case.
Oh my.
And it was just, I remember just opening it in the car on the way home and like thinking how awesome it looked, this DVD case and the instruction manual reading through.
I remember that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just the visuals at the time were absolutely insane. And the bullet time was like the coolest thing ever. Games like gotta have a hook, gotta have a little gimmick, you know, to really set it apart. And the bullet time was just the coolest thing. And then, of course, I don't know if people have been talking about the mod scene.
Oh, crazy.
For Max Payne 1.
Crazy.
If the Max Payne remake Matrix mod has potentially the most insane thing ever made. Like the Matrix mod in that game, you would just do the lobby shootout and they would have like, you know, jumping off the walls like Neo does, and just like that whole shootout. I played that thing like 1,000 times. It's insane. You could do like kung fu moves with Max. It's great.
Excellent. So what are you thinking with this remake? You know, sounding potentially like a Resident Evil style.
I'm thinking like Dead Space. You know, just I compare those. Max Payne remake and Dead Space remake are kind of occupying the same space in my brain, where they're like not too old, but we've come so far in such a short amount of time with tech that remakes for those games, because it's so close too, I feel like remakes for both of those can really capture the spirit and the vibes and everything, but just make it beautiful. Like Dead Space lighting as well, and fire and all that. Like I have high hopes that they're gonna play very similar to their originals, but just look so much better.
There's such a heavy drama to it. That it'd be a bummer if they like smoothed that out and actually like tried to tell like a more grounded story. It's like I don't want to say cheese, because I think that like, you know,
he says some over the top lines. Yeah.
Over the top.
Yeah.
Like I hope it's over the top.
Yeah.
You know, like in fun ways, you know, that are, you know, I guess it doesn't need to be in the 90s, but like it sure just feels like that whole, like tying it to the Matrix was like, right.
Yes.
Those are 2 things I didn't realize were so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, because it was like 2000 or 2001, like
Yeah.
right around there
Yep.
somewhere.
The theme song is phenomenal. I really hope they don't change it. The like title theme song, I used to listen to that on repeat all the time. One of my favorites. So Do you think they're going to keep Sam Lake's face? Is the question.
That's. I mean, we were saying last week they've got to. They've
got to.
They've got to do it.
They
because
do not have to do that.
I love Max Payne 2, but the face threw me off. He looks like a 45-year-old.
He's like a weird old guy. That's what I was gonna say. Is there two different Max Paynes?
Yeah.
Like, and so that's gonna be exciting. Seeing one, they know they're making both, and so it's
Right.
gonna be like, oh, neat. It's gonna be 2 chapters of like your own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I that's one of the things that just being a Rockstar fan that I've loved for so long is that like some random actor who I don't know all of a sudden is a megaton celebrity because they just got a chance. You know, so it's like it's cool to think that there's somebody out there who's never maybe done a game before that's like, you know, their darling new Max Payne that's fitting all of this stuff together, and you know, they're just like at 2 years from now at the Game Awards, like, oh no, we know them now because they're like they did a great job with Max Payne. It'd be neat.
Like, I cannot stress enough. This word gets thrown around so much now, cinematic, but I cannot stress enough how cutting edge, how cinematic, and how incredible these shootouts were. You go back now, there's a lot of kind of like this weird, you're strafing and you're moving and stuff. But at the time, those shootouts were Hollywood level. And that's a lot of games now are like trying to be like movies, and comparing it. And, you think of Last of Us and everything, and it's just gotten so good.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot. Like there's Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
exactly
at the time.
Maybe like some Legacy of Kain. But still, there's like not a ton of stuff that was like full on. Like we're trying to, feel like a movie.
I just want them to pump all the money and resources into just visual flair, lighting, fire, explosions, like shit coming off the wall when you're shooting it, like panels peeling off and exploding.
It'd be fun if some of the maps were the same as the old game, but you like could unlock things by simply like blowing a wall down. You could before, and then you're like, oh, or like doors that you're just like, oh, this is the old and like it opens now.
Jones, yes, like because I'm thinking of The Raid, the movie The Raid, and there's like a part in Max Payne where you go into a hotel and there's gangsters everywhere. And you just have to like clear rooms. Right. Can I imagine just like blowing a door open with a shotgun?
We all blow through the campaign so quick, and then like a year later, somebody's like, "Wait a minute," somebody just notices something or something that we didn't pick up, or some like little Easter egg. Yeah. It was like hard, not in a way of like finishing the campaign. It wasn't like one of those games that was known for its difficulty, but it was kind of like Jedi Outcast, where like. I would be frustrated when I was playing Jedi Outcast because I looked dumb. Like I was like, I'm like beating the enemies, but like I want to be perfect because I'm a Jedi. You know? Like, and so like to actually like jump into a room and then not just like get up and like jump again. Like you're like, no, I gotta look cooler than that. Like I have to not only jump, but like
I love that.
Am I gonna be behind cover when I land? Or like am I gonna jump at them? And if I land, hit the ground, and they're both alive still, like oops, and especially on PC, you're just reload save. Okay, now I gotta get,
Oh yeah, quick save.
And so
quick load.
it was nice that it demanded. I think about like what was the Chow Yun-Fat game? The
Stranglehold.
Stranglehold had a lot of like kind of Sly Cooper rail running and stuff. So it was like
down the rails.
It was like, oh, this is more fun and playful. But again, like Max Payne, like I gotta earn that. Like I could make something cool like that happen, but only on like the 8th attempt where I'm like, there we go.
Getting that final kill in slow motion just because you want to look cool. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like not helping you at all in the game. It doesn't fit the story, but you're just like, no, it feels
They
good.
better bring back the pause button. You could pause anytime, push P, and the camera would just like swirl around you.
Photo mode, dude.
Yes,
Max
photo
mode. Max Payne. Photo mode. Smiling.
Oh my god. Yes.
Or you put Sam's face on him.
Yeah.
It's like you can make him Sam Lake, like in the like photo mode.
Would be a cool unlockable Sam Lake's face, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the original character model. Because they had unlockable modes like New York Minute, I think. It was like time-based. Last other little detail.
All 4. You'd be Sam at Max Payne 2, the new guy, or Max Payne 3.
Yeah.
The weird bald
love
person
that.
with a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Last thing was the setting. New York City during a legendary blizzard. And you just felt that the entire game. Just snow everywhere. It felt like Batman No Man's Land.
Silent Hill, kind of, just the natural walls of, lowering your visibility.
Yeah, just that feeling of being isolated and cut off from anyone or everything. It's, just a hell of a game from top to bottom. I can't wait.
Comic book stuff will probably have to come back in some way, just kind of in like over,
Or will they do FMVs?
Not just like we drew new comic books, but like, that'd be fun. But like, I imagine the titles will be that.
What an
kind of
interesting
square, italicized thing.
Yeah, because I wouldn't really want. There are like very small cutscenes, obviously, but the primary storytelling vehicle is the comic book strips,
Right.
with voiceover and music. But you got to bring those
I
back.
remember in Max Payne 2, like chasing people and them yelling at me, like from staircase, from like, you know, I remember it was like a theater level.
Payne!
Yeah, there's a guy just
God, I
screaming
love
at
that
you while
shit.
you're trying to get up there, and like,
It's Payne. It's so you kick down a door. It's Payne. Ah, it's so good. Slow motion, like just doing slow motion with a grenade, just because it's fun, and just them blowing up. Like you're using your slow mo meter, even though they're dead, just to watch them. Like,
and how many gifts do we get? Like Fear wouldn't have existed without Max Payne. You know,
Yep.
so like, yeah, Max Payne begot lots of really fun shooters.
Absolutely.
For sure.
What a dream.
I'm a little fish out of water on this, but we got to talk about it. Sunday morning. Most of Easy Allies, obviously you're on break.
Dude.
Most of Easy Allies getting ready to go to the theater together to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And then Ben or somebody just drops in and is like, oh, hey, look, there's Kingdom Hearts 4 out of nowhere.
Well, I get up at 6 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like my new like weird schedule, like going to the hospital back and forth. And so I was like, I was up and it was and I'm like, should I message? But this is Brad's show. I'm not going to message. But you know, like Brad deserves to just go to Twitter and see this. I'm not
it
going
was
to bother
Brad,
him.
I couldn't remember who was the first one to drop it in there. But
Yeah,
wow.
it was like kind of. It was funny because we were doing a double take. They were like, "Is this real?
Is
like,
this real?
It's weird that like Kingdom Hearts tweets a trailer and says what it is, and everyone's like, "No,
Yeah, I was like, no.
a weird franchise."
Yeah, so
Couldn't believe it.
we have covered this a lot at other places. We did a reactions video, we did frame trap discussion. Brad did it on his Hangout today. But definitely got to keep talking about it.
You and I got it. No,
Yeah, so 20th anniversary event Sunday. It was Ben. Okay.
Nice.
And they announced some smaller games, some mobile games, and then boom, the Lost Master arc.
Shocked. Shocked. The Master of Masters is the Lost Master.
We see Sora
The Master of
sleeping
Masters,
on
John.
a sofa in a realistic Tokyo-inspired city.
looking realistic.
Apparently been asleep for 7 days, according to the other character.
Yeah. But looks like a few years older.
Yeah, the world is called Quadratum.
Yep.
And
Some Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind stuff right here for sure.
the girl who do we know her name?
Sterilitza.
That's Sterlitzia.
So yeah.
Strelitzia.
So the only spot I'm missing with my Kingdom Hearts lore is that mobile game, Union X whatever.
Right.
They have a cutscene of a lot of it in Kingdom Hearts 2.8. But a lot of that game and that character is from this mobile-only game, which you can't even really play now, I don't think. I downloaded it and it wouldn't let me play. It's
Like
yeah,
many mobile games.
yeah, it's like this is offline now, sorry. I guess they're going to do an offline mode eventually, but you can't even play this game right now. So I have no idea who that character is.
I mean, that's so Kingdom Hearts.
It's so
Right.
Kingdom Hearts.
to have a game you can't even play.
Exactly.
That features a character that is now going to be a big thing.
Fortunately, again, with the back cover movie they did, they also did Recoded. Recoded was a mobile game that they made into a movie.
Yeah,
so
coded,
there's a lot of
and then they made Recoded.
yeah.
Movie, yeah.
So there's a lot of precedent for that. So I'm sure there will be some kind of catch-up movie or something along the
Right.
lines. down the line.
Yeah, so she refers to this as like an afterworld for them, like a kind of, I guess, like an afterlife.
I guess.
But it's like, it's just somebody else's normal world.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And then, yeah, this giant monster appears, and then they get into what, is essentially
Tutorial
the pitch
fight.
for what gameplay could look like. This
Yeah.
is running on Unreal Engine 4 now. Eventually will be Unreal Engine 5 before it comes
Yes.
out, whenever that will be.
So it's going to look way better.
Right. But you
good.
see some kind of like grappling and some other things going on there. They're
Yeah, some
kinda
dream
new.
drop distance, like spinning around the pole and
Yeah.
launching up. The grapple hook, I'm pretty sure, is new, and it's the actual. He has the keyblade
chain,
and then
yeah.
the chain on it at the
nice.
end.
Excellent.
Shoots that out. Very clearly a Versus 13 shot where he's running through. I know that's been the meme of like, he's still making Versus 13. Will not let it go.
I like the wind up. There's one thing where he kind of charges something up where he like goes to grab him, and it's like neat that like it's not just a quick time event. It's like I have to let go on the quick time event, but I gotta however long I can see that that's about to happen. It's kind of like tennis. It's like I got to run there and then stop and then charge up to hit it back. And so there's that give and take between the run and the charge.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of fun. Like you might want to do a boss battle again because you're like, I think I can beat him quicker because I can do more damage in the quick time event.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of quick time events don't work that way. It's like you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah. And then
It looks beautiful.
at the very, very end, we see a little bit of Donald and Mickey, and then what people are
Goofy.
assuming is
Donald and Goofy.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Goofy. I don't know why did I write Mickey? Because I even thought it was funny just hearing Goofy speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Again, my hands and my brain sometimes don't talk to each other.
We need the Mickey game because I know in what correction, get ready. In one of them, if you like do something weird, if you call in a support or die or do something strange, I'm pretty sure you can control Mickey for like a minute in a fight.
Like a glitch or something? Or
It's not a glitch, but like you do a support, like it's something about a support
okay.
move or something.
Got it.
There is a way where you can beat him for like a second, but there's never been like a Mickey game.
Yeah.
So,
But they turn around and what we assume is Hades
Yeah.
talking to them as well.
the blue and the red flame is
Yeah.
kind of the giveaway there. Yeah.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter.
He's also playable in
Here we
Kingdom
go.
Hearts 358 over 2 days.
Got it.
Mission
Okay.
mode.
Mission mode.
Wearing an
okay.
Organization 13 coat.
Sweet.
But
Sweet.
to unlock him, you have to complete every mission,
Sweet.
and then it'll make the key item, the King's Return, available from the Moogle shop, and then you purchase that to unlock him.
So sick. I love that. Thank you, Isla.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brandon, you're talking about how just unexpected this was because between 2 and 3,
I can't believe it.
which they were hanging you on this trilogy. Like
Yeah.
you had to finish this trilogy, and there was a 14-year gap
Right.
between the releases of these two games. And like Huber was saying, like in the midst of that, it's like, oh, here's another Kingdom Hearts.
Birth by Sleep
Yeah.
is as good as 1, 2, and 3. Birth by Sleep is a mainline entry for sure, but it's prequel and not
But there are
numbered.
lots of small games,
lot
lots
of handhelds.
lots of different handheld systems, lots of things, and all of them story-wise just a little bit here and there.
Like remakes
Worth
too,
for it.
kind of, because I know they like repackaged some of the stuff as a movie, but I played the Game Boy Advance game with the cards.
Yes, Chain of Memories,
I
and
played
then they
Chain of
did
Memories on the Game Boy
Re-Chain of Memories.
Yeah, and the Rechain was like, not like a totally different game, but
Yeah.
they updated a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I don't want to replay that because I actually did enjoy it on the GBA. It was just fun. It's fun having handheld, Disney worlds. And
I
running
love that
around.
you said
It's
that,
great.
Jones. It's my favorite story out of all the Kingdom Hearts games. Is Chain of Memories.
Fun.
Glad
It
you
was-
said
You're
that.
talking about summons. Like that was what
Yeah.
most of that was about. It was like, Simba, go. Like, it was fun.
Love Chain.
Also,
Love it.
yes, Huber, the thing you're remembering is
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes.
There are 10 boss battles where
Okay.
Mickey will save you if you die.
Yes, he
Whoa.
saves you and you get to play as him, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
And it doesn't seem like he can do a little bit of damage, but he can't like actually beat the boss. But
Got
he
it.
revives everyone
Right.
else, and then they can beat the boss.
Tight.
I guess
That's such a-
something like that.
It's such
Love
a
that.
Mickey thing to do. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
guy.
I'm hoping because one of my favorite ways to survive a long wait for a game you love is like a Dead Rising, Case West, Case Zero thing. Dead Rising 2, remember?
sure.
With Kingdom Hearts, they had that 0.2 fragmentary passage with
Yeah.
Aqua. Small game, only a few hours, a lot to unlock. But the hope and the dream is that we get something like that before 4. That would be sweet.
Because it's the same. God, Square has like so many of these. It's kind of the same thing as 7 Remake, because it's like it took longer than we thought. We didn't know what it was going to be. A lot of people really liked it. I think almost all of the allies were like, "That was great." It was a bummer to wait for it, but they pulled it off. And so now we have to wait for like whatever is going to come next. And like it sucks to wait, and there are doubts and curiosities. But it's like everyone thinks it's probably going to be good. Like they're probably going to do that again. And that's the thing
We
about
got
4.
intermission though with it.
Yeah, they kind of reeks of like too soon. What are you doing? But then it's like, I mean, it's probably gonna be great. Like three like really delivered. If everyone that I know is a Kingdom Hearts fan is to be believed, in a lot of ways, probably not across the board, but it's just like, oh sure, yeah, do 4 if you want to. Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
It's funny because it's already been like about 3 years since
Crazy.
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Right.
But it just because that wait was so long and so dragged out and teased so many times. Remember when they were even like, "Hey, Dream drop distance. See, it's 3D.
That's right. Yeah.
The biggest thing, just Endor in that trailer.
Yes. Yes.
That's 100%.
Which they're not doing Star Wars. They're not gonna do Star Wars and not do Marvel. Like they're not gonna.
Do you think?
Are you going to throw it all at one, though? You don't want to save something for, like, DLC or another game?
There's no saving because you just do more. You bring in the MCU, but that doesn't mean you do it doesn't mean 100 characters come through a portal, you know? It's Tony, and then you're done.
Yeah.
It's Iron Man, and he's like, yo, crazy stuff is going on. I need you to help me. And then Pepper shows up, and then, like, another character. And then
Thanos
Sora
picks up
as
Mickey.
Iron Man.
And then Thanos and Mickey
and
go on a
throws him
roller
off
coaster.
a bridge, yeah.
Right.
I actually,
and then
now that
Ant-Man
you say that, I do expect
goes
Thanos
inside
to be a boss
Mickey's
fight.
ear. No, and then you just and then the next one is Doctor Strange, and then the next one is Black Panther, and then you come on.
I love it.
Same thing with Star Wars. You know, it's like, and then it like. Here's the thing: if I'm like, all right, I'm gonna probably pass on this game. If they do some stuff where like Leia and Rey, like Rey and Leia, like old school Episode 4 Leia with Rey, I'll be like, okay, well, you know, like I don't know if Skywalker Saga's doing stuff like that outside of just breaking the game the way you can.
But in a
like,
way,
actually doing a narrative where these characters are meeting across time is like, oh no,
I would love that.
now you're dabbling in Star Wars.
But kind of similar to what you're saying about Iron Man, right? I feel like since they've shown Endor,
yeah,
I kind of feel like they might just focus on Endor because that, you know, just the
Oh,
visuals
yeah.
they have there. So
They're going to go
so
ham
loved.
on
Yeah.
Ewoks, dude.
Because Kingdom Hearts 3...
I'm just imagining the three main characters dressed as Ewoks.
Dude, they're so...
I
Bank on it.
I was
Bank on
thinking...
it.
They could have like stormtrooper costumes.
I was thinking Donald would...
Size.
I was thinking Donald would be a droid.
Oh, sure.
Donald as a droid.
Oh,
Donald is
yeah.
R2.
Yeah.
as a
And
mad
Goofy is
R2.
C-3PO.
Goofy is 3PO.
Yeah.
That fits really well. Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have the most worlds, but their Pirates of the Caribbean world is like its own game.
Right.
So I imagine Endor having something insane. Like Pirates of the Caribbean was like a mini open world where you could cruise around the ship to different islands. If Endor's like that, where you can get in an AT-AT and go to different bases
Did they
or
ever do
something.
Mary Poppins?
I think in Birth
But
by
like Mary
Sleep,
Poppins, like, hi, I'm Mary
maybe?
Poppins and I'm in Kingdom Hearts. Like
don't
she
remember,
showed
Jones.
up.
I don't remember.
They haven't done a lot of live action stuff, have they? Outside of Pirates, that was Tron. It was like
Tron.
Pirates and Tron. So it's interesting that like there is like millions of live action Disney films that are revered and like they haven't.
Right.
So I could see for that reason being like, well, if we have Luke Skywalker and Tony Stark, it's too many people. You know, it's
Mary
like,
Poppins is a major supporting protagonist in the Kingdom Hearts Unlimited saga, first appearing in Uncoded Truths.
dope.
Where she is called upon by her old friend, Master Yen Sid,
Fantastic.
to help aid Emma Swan and the royal court members in their quest to save the Datascape from the
I wonder who
de-resolution.
voiced
That's some recoded shit right there. The Datascape.
Curious who did that
Yes.
voice.
I can look into that. Hang
The
on.
Datascape. The more Kingdom Hearts you play, the more confusing it is.
The more you know, the less you know.
They count on it.
Yeah.
It's a brand and they're sticking to it.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
But yeah, actually, but you bringing up the, you know, Pirates is live action, Star Wars is live action, it makes me wonder, you know, with Marvel's, like, do they lean MCU or they could go in whatever Marvel direction they want? Like, you could be in a comic book,
No,
you know?
dude. The Guardians need to meet Han Solo, man.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
Can you imagine
Jones.
Star
Damn
Lord?
it.
Can you imagine? I'm sorry. Can you imagine
Damn
Han
it,
Solo and
Jones.
Star Lord like literally looking at each other and like
Jones, yes.
Our live chat was talking about Darth Vader and Sephiroth meeting up, and that would be
Right.
Vader
Pretty
just cuts
fire.
the sword in half. Sephiroth's like, oops. Whoops. It's too
Lightsaber
fun.
OP.
It's too fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's one thing we were talking about too on Frame Trap, that like we haven't actually seen a whole lot of the Final Fantasy
Need
representation.
that. Remind.
Like we haven't had
Still.
like a world, you
Yeah,
know, that was
still.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy, just some characters here and there.
Remind had a very, very small little, very small Final Fantasy stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been suspiciously absent.
That could be its own game. You know, like the like Final Fantasy version of Kingdom Hearts, like what they were all doing this whole
Yeah.
time. You know,
Yeah.
get caught up.
Totally. Cloud in Kingdom Hearts 2 is like the best thing ever because his Buster Sword is all taped up. It looks so cool. Ugh.
So they said this is eventually going to be on Unreal Engine 5. Do you think they've downloaded that yet? That's the question of like, how long is it going to take for them to finish this game? When is it actually coming?
There's no rush.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath, but I'm shocked we saw as much as we saw.
I'm sure we got a trailer.
I'm shocked that this was not, that first of all, it was announced at all, and that it wasn't just like, hey, Kingdom Hearts 4 is now in development. Like, we saw gameplay. What?
Right.
That's wild.
I don't think it's that wild for Square though, because you like think about how early we saw 13 and Versus 13 and all of that stuff.
What about Dragon Quest?
Dragon Quest is a whole different
11?
story for sure.
Is it 11? 12. What are we on? Dragon Quest 12.
12 will be next.
12, yeah, that was announced so long ago and we've seen nothing. Whereas this was immediately announced and we saw some gameplay.
I thought it was a fan thing. I thought it was a recut of some old game. Like when I was like watching the trailer, you know, and it really took a full minute to be like, wait a minute. Did they do what I thought they did? Crazy. And it's like, just to tweet it.
From what I could see,
So cool.
It wasn't like coming up, but in the Kingdom Hearts fan fiction. Oh wait, this is a fan fiction.
Fanfic.
Oh god damn it! I can't figure out who the voice actor for Mary Poppins was.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. 2 years, 3 years, or is it just around the corner?
I think 2 to 3 years at least, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3. I mean, 5.
5? Just no.
Well, I mean,
I think 3.
That would be great. I
Yeah.
just don't see there being a problem with Kingdom Hearts right now. I just don't see them being like, got to turn this ship around. You know, I think they can take their time and just, slam dunk it.
You hear that Unreal Engine 5 is like easy and the best. You know, a lot of people just converting to that. Like CD Projekt is going to Unreal Engine 5. Was that right?
Yeah.
And they dropped their own thing in favor of it. So it's got to be just.
Yeah. They're also doing a thing with Epic to where they're like collaborating and like kind of making it their own, like working on tools and stuff that are going to be specific for what they need.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're not just like using it out of the box. Yeah.
A lot of devs do that. They'll make like tools on top of the engine to like customize the engine for their own needs.
And then Unreal goes, turns around and like pitches that as another perk.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look what else we got.
Yeah.
Here's our app where you can scan in this chair.
Yeah.
That somebody else totally made, but because it's all, working with Unreal Engine 5, they can pitch that as another reason to use their engine.
Smart. Wild. Really cool. Sorry. Every time. Every single
Good
time.
to know it's not just me.
It's not just
It's
you.
everybody.
It's good to know.
It's everybody.
Because this was the thought that came back to me. I really like the premise of a new arc. You know,
why take your time? My God.
Yeah,
Why rush the beginning of a new thing?
Exactly. This whole Dark Seeker saga ended, and now we're doing this new thing, and it's like we're starting over, but we're also continuing. It's this really nice balance with like, where is Sora? We got to get Sora. Find Sora. So that hook right out of the gate is really exciting for fans.
If they can somehow work his appearance in Smash Brothers into a cutscene, I will invest more time in Kingdom Hearts. I will admire that so much. I will make a point.
Can you imagine a Smash Brothers world? And then there's just everything? Oh my God.
Yep, I can totally do it.
the rights for that would be so complicated, but it'd be amazing.
Somehow all we see is Master Hand.
Yeah, there's just all. It's like hinted, it's like
And Kirby.
Yeah,
Get
gotta
Kirby
have,
in there.
Gotta have Kirby in there.
like talking like British voice Kirby, like Kingdom Hearts.
An interesting one that's prompted some discussion this week. Lorne Lanning described Oddworld Soulstorm's popularity on PlayStation Plus as devastating.
Yeah.
So this was discussed on episode of the Xbox Expansion Pass podcast this week. He was on there as a guest. And he said that, when they did the deal, the game was supposed to come out in January. They expected about 50,000 to 100,000 in sales for the game because PlayStation 5 was still new. They ended up having to delay the game, and then it came out in April, and it had 4 million downloads on PlayStation Plus. And so he believes they lost profits due to the unexpected success. And it seems like that PlayStation just pays up front.
Yeah.
And so it looked like a good deal. It looked like more money than we would make from their sales. See, and then the quote here is, because Soulstorm slipped to April, we had the highest downloaded game on PlayStation 5. And it was, I think, approaching close to 4 million units or something like that for free because they were all subscriptions. So for us, it was devastating. So, but at the same time, he makes it sound like they needed that upfront money just to finish the game.
Right.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation because obviously it was free, well, PS Plus, but it wouldn't have been $4 million if it was a paid game.
Right. I don't think for a second that many people would have bought that game.
I don't even think like
I don't want to harp on that game, but I don't think no, not at all.
I think 50K sales was probably about right.
But I imagine the devastation is from a percentage of PS Plus downloads. Like, I want to know those deals. God, I wish the video game industry was more transparent.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Give us the numbers, video game industry.
Front, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to pay you off for what you think your first month sales are going to be. And this is going to be what we pay you.
Is it like
there some hack where all this came out where we did see like 2016's spread of like exactly how much they paid everybody? Or was that Epic's in the Epic Game Store launching?
I don't remember. It sounds vaguely familiar.
There was some big chart that had like all the numbers. So you saw like, whoa, like they really liked that one.
Yeah,
I need to see this
because there were people that were like, oh, these guys really like wheeled and dealed and got a lot more than somebody else. Yeah.
I was just chuckling because the next Oddworld should be called Devastation. But I mean, it's such a weird. It's like Vegas, man, with buying into that and being like, are we gonna be the reason that you're excited about that? Are you gonna? Because it's not just this game; it's just Oddworld in general. Like, how many people downloaded that had never, might have not even known what Oddworld was? We're just like, it's the game, and so they just grabbed it, and then maybe didn't even play it, but some did. We're like, well, this is kind of fun. And it's like, is this like the second one of these? It's like, no, dude, this franchise has been around for like a quarter of a century. Like, really? And then you go back and do the other one. So it's like,
yeah, I think that's a big thing because I know for myself, like, I'll click on those things every month, whether I plan to play it or not, just because it's like, oh, there's my free games, got to download it. And so how many people downloaded Oddworld and like never even like
well, and that was what I was wondering because you can click add to library without downloading.
Oh, not
so
not
like
even downloading it.
Was he counting add to library? Because that's going to be a high number.
Yeah, but again, I think the devastation here is probably the way the deal went down. I wonder if there's like in Hollywood where you get a percentage of the box office. I wonder if when you have a PS Plus game, if part of the negotiation can be, if we have 2 million downloads, 3 million downloads, then you give us a bonus. You pay us more.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of the fair play for sure.
So I don't know if that is an option, and if it is, and they didn't get that, then
I mean, it could be that just again, like if these are all individual negotiations, it's sort of like up to you to decide what are you going to go for. This is what they're pitching us. What do we want to pitch back to them? Like he said, when they did the deal, it felt like a good deal. It felt like a fair deal. It felt like it would be paying like above what they would have made. I was saying that New and Tasty sold more than 500,000 according to Polygon, and the franchise as a whole has sold 7 million copies. So,
according to Wikipedia. So who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, Wikipedia's on those can be a little weird sometimes. Video Game Chronicle pointed out that Fall Guys was again like similarly huge on PlayStation Plus, and then because of like the viral sensation, went on to sell like another 7 million copies on Steam. So it does show you that like it does boost. Same thing with like Game Pass. It does boost a lot of people.
Great call.
But like it's such it's like the gold rush. Like so many people will just go out west and then just starve to death out in the desert. And you're like, no, and like that person did that thing, but like. You're talking about a super crazy, colorful, brand new franchise in a genre that hasn't done anything, and like another Oddworld. And like I say that having played that game at E3 4 or 5 years ago, and being like, this is great, and then it just showed the same gameplay for like 4 more years, and then I was like, yo, there's no crazy boss fight or something you can show of like this is the demo I played 5 years ago again and again and again. And so it's like. Like you just said, New and Tasty. Like, what is that? I'm assuming that's the last one.
It's they like rebooted it. They reimagined
a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But that's just not like a known thing. I think I don't see that kind of sentiment come up a lot around that franchise. I think you really have to know that franchise. And so I would not be surprised if a lot of people grab that on PlayStation Store thinking maybe what is this, a re-release of a 20-year-old game? I don't know. It's like no, this is the new one. It just didn't have that kind of motivation going into any part of the launch.
And I think that plays a lot into like why so many people would have downloaded it, because it's a name that but you've never actually tried.
Great call.
You know, and it's like, oh yeah, oh that's a big one, huh?
Yeah.
And you get it even though you haven't
Oddworld, I
played
know
them
about
before. Yeah.
Even knowing like the name Abe, it's like, is that Abe?
Yeah.
Are we still Abe? Are they all Abe? You know, it's just not. You need to know that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you like have never played a Halo game and you're like, Infinite might be the one for me. Like you know who Master Chief is. Like you.
Yeah.
They've done, you know, to a fault, a good job of just like it all revolves around this person. So it was a bummer because it was so pretty and the lighting was so neat and the environments were so busy. It was fun to look at and it was neat to strategize like how to do it and fun to just like have them all get annihilated in 1 second, you know. But I will be more sad for Destruction All-Stars than Oddworld because it's like that's the same formula, you know, it's colorful, weird, competitive.
Sure.
You know, like, yeah, there's, DNA here that you can tie to other, like, live service games or other multiplayer games. But, you know, just roll the dice. Like, this could blow up. This could be the dodgeball game.
Oh.
I got the ball and I
Rocket
hit
League?
you.
Or, no.
Knockout City?
Knockout City.
Yep.
Oh my god, thank you.
They started as a paid game and then went to free to play.
Knockout
So they
City
didn't- they
rules.
didn't need
and
this
then they
thing, but
departed
yeah.
from EA as well.
But I wonder if that would have blown up in a free service or that would have been a big Game Pass thing or
Yeah.
Epic Game Store exclusive or something. All these things, like, could work huge. It's just... When you hear someone say it didn't work and they bet so much on it, it's like, ooh, don't bet that much. Because that's devastating.
Well, it
Sounds
does
like
make
you're not
you
making
wonder,
any more
like, the
games.
factors
Like,
of,
Yeah.
devastating's a
You know,
scary word.
Would it be better to have not done it in your first month? You know, got your sales out first and then done. Because here's the thing that really sticks out to me about this whole thing. We were just talking a couple of weeks ago about the new PlayStation Plus Premium and all of that, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, Jim Ryan was like, yeah, right now it doesn't make sense for us to put our stuff on there day one, like Game Pass. And it's like, yeah, of course. Like, you want to get your sales and then you can get the free guys later. This is, you know, if it's not good enough for Sony, but they're going around and like getting other companies to do it on their behalf for their benefit.
Shady.
It's kind of fun. It's like, oh yeah, third parties. Yeah, you can put it on there for free. We're not doing that though.
Well, it's like, don't they? Yeah, isn't that like the whole thing with sports
Good
games? That like
point.
when it's the end of the year that the sports game came out, okay, we'll give you it for free now because we got to get the other one out. And so it's like, yeah, it's not a bad thing to show up like late game like that in terms of like a fiscal year.
But I also wonder too if it's just like something that like works better for some genres than others. Just like Fall Guys, Rocket League, they have other ways of monetization. They have, you know, plans to like keep the game going.
Something with a
Whereas-
short campaign like a Sifu, you're like, oh yeah, let me just play this game for 30 minutes. Where you like, yeah.
But that's the thing though, because then it's like, well, people played it, and then now it's over in a way, rather than at the end of the month, we're like, oh, I want to keep playing this, right? So yeah, I have to think about like all of the different things. I mean, like Lorne Lanning is like, he's not naive, he's not inexperienced, he's been in the industry forever. You know,
Well-
it's like, oh, this caught us totally off guard.
We're talking about this franchise now, and we weren't talking about it when it was announced as a free game coming to PlayStation. So maybe just saying the word devastating was like, that was, hey, not a bad move for your marketing campaign.
Yeah.
You know, to just kind of call attention to like, you know, beware, buyers beware, or sellers beware. You know, you talk about this all the time, Hubert. You know, just the hearts being broken over like Hitman. Like, oh, they did it. No, they didn't. No, they did. You know, like these like, I don't want to think
one, the
about.
worst
I don't
one,
want to
the
think
next.
about this series so much. Somebody like makes a cool snowboarding game, and it's like, please do this really well. You know, but I don't want to
Right.
be too excited because then more people will want to do it. Too bad. Devastating.
Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill and take control of your subscriptions. I used to edit videos for some psychotic retired Navy pilots, and this was their whole thing. They were trying to like scam people into like business with repeat charges. It's tricky, man. I felt real weird about it. Truebill would have bailed these people out that got suckered into that. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions that you don't need, want, or that you simply forgot about. I've been using it, and it's really helpful. On average, people save up to $720 per year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts, and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. I used it to go through, and Huber and I were talking about this earlier today. There are like 8 billion subscription services.
8 billion.
8 billion.
Humans were not meant to contain all of this information, that you have an account at all.
Yes.
How the heck were we supposed to remember any of this?
It's bonkers.
That's why you say it's a scam. It's like, it is a good scam, but we should beat it.
Yes.
It's not. I see what they're after, but no, we're gonna step ahead of this one.
And so I went through and I was like, what am I even subscribed to? And I used it. You just click on the app, it goes down, it's like recurring payments. It's really helpful too, because I'm still using it. It'll tell me, like, it'll have a pop-up that's like, hey, you spent more money this month than last time. Is that normal? Is that all right? Or it's like, hey, big transaction detected. Is that chill? You know, it just keeps you on top of your stuff. It's really nice. Truebill has over 2 million users and helped save them over $100 million. Like Matthew B., who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, saved $120 for the year on my SiriusXM bill, saved $840 on a year for a year of car insurance. That's pretty good. SiriusXM never got me. When I got my new car, they were trying. I'm like, I literally have never used a radio. Leave me alone. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/allies. Go right now, Truebill.com/allies. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill, Truebill.com/allies. Do it. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-proportioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit.
Yo, throw to me for HelloFresh. Yo, throw to me.
All right, go, Jones, go.
Totally independent of the Easy Allies podcast. My wife texts me because we have been living in a hospital back and forth for the last 8 weeks. Yo, let's just HelloFresh and just forget all of it. And I was like, yeah, obviously, yes.
Hell yeah.
HelloFresh, you are magnetized on my kitchen fridge, because it's just like, here's what we're going to be eating this week. You know, Amanda's, I can make those meals. They're very fun to make. Amanda's obviously like so much quicker at that stuff. And she was the one who got us back into HelloFresh. So like today, just before I came over, it was like some kind of jambalaya thing. It was just in the Tupperware. I just put it on the plate, reheated it, and like, it was so great. It wasn't too spicy. It was just awesome. You know, I'm like, sometimes I don't really feel like eating, but I guess I'll just have like one bite of sausage. It's like, man, they make really good food. It's very, very tasty. It's been so easy. Coming from someone who is literally like going through a crisis for 2 months. Saved my ass, HelloFresh. Cheers to HelloFresh. Thanks very much.
I love that. Sophia and I
endorsed just a bit by the Troop Jones family.
Oh yeah, they sent some, and Sophia and I, she was cooking stuff. It was great. There was some red meat for her, some chicken for me. It was perfect. Get farm fresh, seasonal produce, and easy to make recipes delivered right to your door every week. Ingredients travel from the farm to your doorstep in under a week, so they always arrive fresh, all without a trip to the grocery store or a farmer's market. Because who knows what day farmer's markets are on? They're always changing them. It's bonkers.
Sundays?
I don't know. It's different. There's like 100 farmers markets, and I never know what day they are. Go to HelloFresh.com/allies16 and use code allies16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. 16, 1-6, not 6D, 16, 1-6. HelloFresh.com/allies16. Check it out. Promo code allies16. America's #1 meal kit. Check it out. Jones loves it. I love it. Everybody loves it. Okay.
I'm digesting it.
As we speak.
Right now in front of me.
Picture that.
It's going well.
Yeah, how's it going, Jones?
Stay tuned.
Feeling fresh, Jones? All right, Blood.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, Thank you, Huber.
Yo.
Yo, Huber, they're getting me excited about Need for Speed
Hell
again.
yeah, let's go, let's go.
Jeff Grubb.
Always optimistic.
Out here leaking, well, not
Hey,
leaking,
that
but reporting
live action
stuff,
one?
getting leaked from somebody else.
That weird live action one, Blood?
Oh, I like that.
I like it.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Jeff Grubb reporting Need for Speed will have anime elements.
Let's get nuts.
So this game is apparently going to look realistic overall, but then have things like flame and stuff that looks like cartoons, like you're adding on like Roger Rabbit or I don't.
Whoa.
Like, I'm.
Yeah,
I want to
can
see
we-
it. I want a screenshot. I want a video.
Can we like transform our cars into mechs, like Sweet Tooth and Twisted Metal?
Well, I
or
wonder if it's like,
what?
do you see the Mitchells versus the Machines?
Dude, yeah.
How she was very artistic, and then you kind of see her imagination
sure.
and how. So I wonder if they're like different characters you play as, and they all see the world differently, and that's like.
I mean, that's a good question, like what the characterization will be like. Because Need for
Yeah.
Speed, like, yeah, they will go all in on story sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, the live action one.
Yeah.
They don't all this like cutting edge film techniques and blending it with the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, and yeah, that you're talking to real people. Sometimes a little weird, but
They love story for
Yeah.
sure. The Run. It's like
Well, I can't remember if it was Need for Speed, but I remember one racing game coming out, and you're like, the story's good. I remember reading your review script, and you're like, the story's good, but like, I'm racing, man. So like somebody's coming in like, hey, so cousin Frank who got shot the other day, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I'm in second place. Hold on, I can, like I'm not
yeah,
getting
sure.
this part of the story. So you like miss stuff, and like. It's like, hey, if you just put a little anime edge on it, and you have my attention. Like I will recall, throw some exclamation points in there, and yeah, I'll know when it's important to pay attention.
Chad is saying, Carlos and Chad is saying, Need for Weeb.
Very good.
Very
Very
yeah,
funny.
Got Ben Moore's attention instantly. Because Ben obviously loves anime. Just trying to get back into playing Gran Turismo 7, loving Gran Turismo 7. So yeah, he's like, oh, perfect timing for me.
I love high-speed chases and bank robberies, and my favorite part of Need for Speed has always been the police chases. Need for
Right.
Speed Hot Pursuit. Whenever they lean into spike strips and choppers and cops chasing you down, that is what I love the most. So I hope
I will say that
they retain some of that.
I love in Need for Speed games. But when you say always, not always. They do botch it sometimes.
They botched it in one of the newer ones,
Like
for sure.
Rivals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is just
What if
stop.
you had like the detective from Lupin the Third, and like that's
Yo.
the police presence in the game? Is this guy who's just hounding you the whole time?
Yes!
Just
Jones!
trying to keep up.
Like a nemesis pursuer enemy who's like a hilarious
Love it.
bumbling detective. That would be so
some
good.
cop who you just keep making look like an idiot again and again and again.
Also, dude, Need for Speed cross anime is making me think of Redline, which would be
Oh,
Redline.
yeah.
Shout out to Redline.
Really great movie.
Oh my God, Redline.
Yeah.
Jones, have you seen Redline?
Anime.
You should. It's an anime
Oh,
movie
okay.
from like
I
whenever.
have it on Blu-ray. They sent it to me, so I
It
can
is
borrow it sometime.
insane, dude.
Well, there aren't. I think of like so many great sports animes I hear about. Why not, man? Like, why go? It's like, well, no, let's just make a bunch of like, street kids that are like all dumb, and then that'll be the story because you care about them. And it's just like, but just get
Yeah.
weird, man.
Like
Get
the
weird.
the comic book things they had in like the F-Zero manual back in the day. Like imagine just like a full-on movie of that.
'Cause-
Just going crazy with effects and flames and just
Like-
all the racers are losing their minds,
Yeah.
and so their realities are cracking.
Like Tokyo Extreme Racing and like Need for Speed Underground and
Right.
stuff. And Fast and the Furious 1 was such a moment in time. Like that underground street racing, everyone's got their underglow. Like legit Fast and the Furious 1, like car meetup was like authentic to a degree. And the it's been hard, I think, for the franchise to find its vibe and its place because you can't just be
Since Underground, basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't just be in that era 20 years later. It's like unless they do a throwback game, but Need for Speed always likes to be modern and cutting edge, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the franchise has kind of lost its identity. It went from that police chasing to kind of that import underground scene, and then it just kind of they lost it somewhere.
So here's the thing, in terms of going back to the identity and trying to get the shot in the arm is So the last 4 games, so you had Rivals, Need for Speed, Payback and Need for Speed Heat. Those were all done by Ghost Games, which was like a new team, I believe in Sweden, that they formed basically just to make Need for Speed games. And Criterion had done the ones right before that. They did the remake Hot Pursuit and the remake Most Wanted.
Yeah, which were sick.
Excellent games.
Yeah.
Criterion is back.
I didn't know
the wheel this time.
I didn't know this.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes, because it's like all of those, like I feel like with Heat they've got back like in people's good graces, like it wasn't like as beloved as like Underground or as the Hot Pursuit games.
Did I play Heat? I forget. I might have played it.
It was in like kind of Miami-ish area.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was good.
I played through this
I
whole
wasn't
game.
in love with it, but it was good.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Payback's the
bad one.
It's bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Like microtransactions. We had a really funny review that Isla cut that you need to watch.
Yeah.
One of the best Easy Allies reviews to ever watch.
Aw.
Where we're just like, remember when we had the shot of just like sitting in the parking lot or whatever, waiting for the microtransaction bonus or garbage?
I remember that.
Better than Fast and the Furious Crossroads review?
Dominic Toretto.
It was very similar vibes.
Yeah.
Very similar. Yeah.
Love cutting a good bad game review, man.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But the pump the brakes though is Criterion themselves have gone through a lot of changes and turnover. Like they were practically gutted at a point
so it's
when
not...
like Ghost Games started, and so like some of the lead people are still there, but some of the like guys that like created Burnout and stuff, they went off and made their own studio. They made their own little like crash mode games. Remember, what was it, Dangerous Driving?
Yeah,
that we played. Like they were cool, they were fun, but they're like very clearly like they had no money to make these games with.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like it's not the Burnout crew really. It's
there are people there, but who they exactly have now, and and they've been doing like support work on Dice games. So what does a Criterion Need for Speed look like in 2022?
Yeah,
I gotta wonder how much influence EA had over all of this, because it's like feels like Battlefield, where it's just every Battlefield's like, what are you doing now? That didn't work. Okay, well then what's this? So that looks interesting. Nah, it didn't work either. Like you can't reinvent every game.
Yeah,
you kind of stick to something. Like you look at something like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, but we got Need for Speed Most Wanted, and then Need for Speed Most Wanted, and then like Hot Pursuit, and then Hot Pursuit. It's just like, can't these tie together in some way, or can't you like have different versions of Need for Speed that come back 3 or 4 years later? Identity. It's never.
So I think what happened is like Black Box was originally, or maybe not originally, but they were doing the big the Most Wanted. They were doing Underground. And then when we got to like around Undercover, like things started getting strange.
The Run, so weird.
The Run as well. And like you're saying,
the
like
Run. Remember,
a lot
it's
of
like
story focus.
cinematic.
Yeah. And so they, EA had gotten Criterion. Burnout Paradise was an excellent game.
10 out of 10.
And Criterion was like, hey, let us make Need for Speed, and EA's like, okay, and they were successful with that. And then they had him do it again. And I think probably at some point Criterion is like, okay, well, we'll kind of want to do other things. And remember, we saw like that weird demo where they had like the extreme sports game that Criterion was working on. And it was like the character models and stuff weren't even textured in like some of the shots they were showing off. Like they didn't have a name for it yet. Yeah. And that thing got canceled. And then from there, it just seemed like the people that wanted to work on Need for Speed kind of went over to Ghost Games, and then Criterion just sort of, they were experimenting and they were working on support things for other EA projects. But I think now they're like, okay, we need to rescue Need for Speed again.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Why do you think Need for Speed needs to be rescued? Like, do you think that's like
it's so inconsistent.
No, but I mean, do you think it needs? I mean, not that it could be good, but that it's worth the risk of it. Just tanking,
why
not
do they
tanking
keep
again, but just like
trying?
making it look different. Yeah, it's like
because they're again going back to Underground days. I mean, when Underground was big, like it was the Call of Duty of that era. Like it was just gigantic.
Yeah. And a bad Need for Speed kind of gets forgotten. Like it's not something where it's like, oh, that's devastating to this franchise. Yeah. It's just like, it's a weird one.
And it perfectly lives with your Gran Turismos and your Gran Turismo and your Forza, it's offering something different than the competition, just in terms of gameplay a little bit, and obviously vibes.
Yeah, I remember when I was talking to the PR guys at the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Criterion launch party, and even then, like the PR guys, like obviously they weren't the ones making the decisions, but they're like, yeah, Burnout could never do Need for Speed numbers. Like it just could never get the same sales. And part of that is because, the crashing Burnout couldn't have licensed cars and stuff, but it's just in terms of the brand recognition, like
PS1.
Need for Speed is just just gigantic. So
Aaron Paul, dude, the movie.
That's right.
So many.
That first trailer, where it was just like the trailer itself was just like a mini movie.
Yeah.
It was so good. They've done some cool trailers over the years for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Need for Speed's like 3 words you say, and it does. My brain doesn't do a whole lot. I don't. That. Just where do I go? There's just so many different ways. And again, unlike something like a Call of Duty or something that's like also or Assassin's Creed that's pumped out a ton of games, like you can kind of group them, and you can only group them by name, And the's so many ones. The Run, my God.
The Run.
That was a trailer. That was a trailer. That was a trailer. They thought
that was
fans
one
would
of the Run is one of the few times where like PR got on my case for a review because I said like, oh, you can finish it this quickly, and like the length of time from like whatever it tracks on the screen, and like, well, that it takes more whatever like extra attempts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and like I was talking to Shane about it, and it's like what I said isn't inaccurate, right, and so it's like, yeah, we're not gonna. Shane was like, hard no, we're not gonna change anything. Like, but I guess in their mind it's like I made it sound like the game is
3 hours,
faster than it actually is.
Do you think anyone in 2022 would pull that with Daniel Bloodworth for a racing review? Can you imagine the gall?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen unless it's Nintendo.
Another story that's kind of new, not confirmed information, but coming from insiders and leaks and all of this. Huber, a well-known Resident Evil leaker,
yes,
came out with some extra details
Dusk
about
Golem, right?
It's what's that?
I think it was Dusk Golem.
Yeah, Dusk Golem. I think you're right. I don't remember where I wrote it down, but it's in there somewhere.
Nice.
But about Resident Evil Village's development. So the swamp in Moreau's area used to be more open, and it describes what basically amounts to swamp mermaids.
Yeah.
Would have been in there at one point, one of the prototypes.
Yeah.
And so the way that they describe it is, so it's kind of like RE7's End of Zoe DLC, to where like you kind of have like bits of land and bits where you're like wading through deep water. Yeah. And so similar to the Crocs, these mermaids would like just rush at you, and you had to, either get on dry land or shoot them, or you're going down.
Sounds terrifying. Yeah.
But then the area similar to the castle would have like a stalker enemy, which they're saying is maybe would have been Moreau, with like throwing acid and like it has like a claw weapon or something. But the mermaids would screech at you when you're on dry land.
Stun you or whatever.
Yeah, and so it'd stun you, they'd slow you down, and they would alert whatever the creature was stalking you to your presence.
Cool.
Let's just take all of the great aquatic monsters and just put them sirens and selkies and
yeah.
Right. Isla, what do you think about this waterlogged horror content?
It sounds great.
Yeah. obviously, I know there was no underwater stuff, but like,
yeah, as long as it's
to be yoinked down by one of those things, then all of a sudden you're underwater and there.
Yeah, as long as it's all above water, no sweat. Except for I don't like things jutting out of the water if they're metal, but like whatever.
Moreau's area was kind of flooded though.
Yeah. That was mostly wood and it was fine. It was like mud, so it was fine. Like, yeah.
And the water was so swampy you couldn't even like see down, really.
Yeah.
But stuff like metal, like pylons, oil rigs, can't handle it.
Yeah, I wonder though, like what it would, if they had like gone further with that idea, like whether you would have been grabbed and had to like interact to like shake free before you run out of breath, or
it's always fun hearing about cut content. I really like it, and they had all the concept art with some really cool unlockables in Village, and you see some things that are not in the game, and it's like, oh, there's concept art. Like, I wonder if that what's the story behind that? Was that ever going to be in the game? So I love all that stuff. It's so interesting.
Like, is it scary? It's like the big question, and that's so hard to like actually pull off. You know, it's like that's the like, thing about horror movies. You have like a great idea, but like actually like writing a good script, hiring a good cast, getting a good director, making the shot look good, making the music work. Like you have to go through like so many could screw up moments to get to the what works, and so to keep having to reevaluate like is that scary? Is that scary? Is that creep? Is it creepy if you just see like the grass go back and forth, but you know there's a werewolf in there, but you can't see it yet? You know, like, it's like those like bunch of dolls in the room. That's scary, you know. So it's like it's neat to think of them conceiving like how can we really make these?
Well, and it does
you have so much ammo. How can we really kind of creep you out with this something coming at you?
It does sound very similar to the Crocs in 7.
Totally.
That part in the DLC that you were talking about, and also this kind of makes sense to me because the Moreau area felt the least. It's very short.
It's very
It felt the least developed, maybe, and like it makes sense that there was some other part of it that maybe got cut for time or something.
Yeah, they said that it would have taken more time to figure out like how to make it fun, kind of like what you're saying, like is it scary, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
And so they decided to focus more on the castle and the factory.
Yeah. And the Moreau part, you know, I know there's a lot of criticism about it, but it is. Village is the prime example of it's more than the sum of its parts, where everything comes together and the game is great. That part serves a cool function of like this part's quick and like you gotta go fast. You know, you're like running kind of through this. It's trying to swallow you. So I like that kind of adrenaline aspect of that.
And I liked on a first playthrough, because there was a moment because he just is like, yeah, just take it. You know, and he's so pathetic.
Yeah.
I actually thought, I was like, is that it? He just gives it to me and I leave? Like, he's such a loser? And then, of course, you know.
Also interesting to think of, like, I wonder if it didn't get past the stage of, like, who are these things? Are they from him?
Great call.
You know, because he could
the context.
he could kind of manifest the world a little bit. Like you see a lot of the kind of sponginess like appear, and he can like grow. It kind of poison ivy. He can kind of grow into places, and so it'd be neat to think, if these are like, if you get too far away from them, they just kind of crumple into the water. Like they're not actually like women who were spurned or something. You know, like they weren't like ghosts of something. They're like, no, they're all just him. He can kind of create these things that are autonomous for like a minute and then just kind of collapse.
The lore implications of that because of his like mommy complex would be kind of sad. Like he's creating companions. And
he's so lonely. Again,
he's
she's
so
got
lonely.
dolls, he's got the robots.
Yeah.
Right? He's got the all sorts of stuff going on in the castle. Vampires, obviously, but the werewolves.
Dang, that's kind of a cool
and so
angle.
it felt but then again, his solitude totally worked for his story. Nothing beats a good RE villain just screaming like Wicked Witch style and like becoming ooze, and you're just like, sucks, man. Sorry, I got to get through that door, otherwise, your tail is like Lisa, like sorry,
sorry, Lisa.
And I love his boss fight because he's a bullet sponge, but in a game I played 4 times.
Cool fight.
Always fun to just
grenade launcher.
How much DPS can I do now?
Yeah. I do really like that fight.
That fight is really fun in speed runs too, because they're very specifically like, okay, we need to shoot him with this many grenades, we need to hit him with this, we need to shoot that barrel. It's really cool.
Hiding under the overhangs when he shoots the acid
rain and stuff. Yeah,
when an RE boss is just kind of slowly coming at me in a hallway and I'm shooting its face, like I don't mind. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
So Huber, there's DLC coming. We don't know anything about. Is this something you'd want to see in the DLC, or you want to go somewhere else?
No, I want to go somewhere else. I want to do some Lady D origins, or about that blade, the old knights and the knife and the old expedition that found it. Like I want some like deep cut origins.
Dude,
with all 4. You go through all 4 of their heyday, and like maybe when they were creating or when they were bequeathed those plots, like what they first
That's
did.
what I was gonna say, or the 2 other people, I won't say who, but doing like science and research and stuff together, that would be bonkers.
Totally. Or if they're completely unhinged, they just do the follow-up with that character that everyone thinks is going to be Resident Evil 9. But it's like, actually,
Huber,
let's do that now as DLC to get our feet wet. Let's do that.
Oh, dude. Don't toy with me, dude. I hadn't even dared to dream about that. Oh man.
It'd be awesome.
That'd be sick as hell.
Yeah, it's interesting to think, though, because if you're saying, like, if like somehow you played as each of those characters, right? Like, if you played as Lady D, if you played as Moreau, maybe there's some way that they could work these mechanics back into, like, okay, those things were there, and he was the one trying to
He had to
escape
clear it
something else.
out. Yeah.
I'm hoping at least if we don't get to play as Lady D, we can be Lady D in Mercenaries mode. Because even in Resident Evil 4, you could be Wesker, and Wesker had the cool punch, and Resident Evil 5 or whatever had the different moves a little bit. So
Those maps aren't made for a 8-9 foot tall
I know.
woman.
Every DLC,
I know.
more mercenaries characters, more mercenaries
Yeah.
maps, more
Yeah.
weapons, more characters.
yeah.
Oh boy, let's go back and play Resident Evil Village.
Dude, right?
And the next gen patches are coming. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, right.
Do you know about this?
Ooh, no.
Oh,
I know Witcher
Jones.
3's not coming.
Resident Evil Remake 2, 3, and 7 are all getting 60 FPS ray tracing next gen enhancements, Jones.
Molded with ray tracing?
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
3, I can okay not playing again. 2, I've wanted to revisit.
3's
3 is so good. What?
It's so quick.
Dude, I don't say
Jill-
it's not good. I'm just saying I don't need to play it again.
Ray trace Jill
I'm not going
Valentine.
to play a game again. It's like insulting it somehow.
Just
play 2
ray
first.
traced
2
Jill
first.
Valentine.
So a lot coming.
Yeah.
Any minute.
Any minute for that DLC, yeah.
Any minute for any of those
Because that
announcements.
DLC, the thing with the DLC is, like, you could just see them just drop it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's, yeah.
Jeff Keighley, Summer Game Fest, here
I
we
was
go.
going to say, like, they're not doing this without Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
I just love Huber getting up and going to Twitter and just like, come on, baby.
Yeah.
RE DLC. RE DLC, Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting, but cool.
Yeah. Any
What
day.
if Huber is like some kind of luck god and he doesn't even know it?
Rolls bones every day.
Roll something. He's going to get something.
Also this week, evidence from Call of Duty Season 3 trailer classified arms strongly indicates that Godzilla is somehow coming to Call of Duty.
So many ways you could do that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
there's a line
That would
that
be
says
pretty
like
fun.
the Nazi shook something awake. The sound effect seems to match Godzilla. And then somebody did a spectrogram analysis of the audio.
Saw that.
Dude.
That is
Shows
insane.
The letters monsters are real.
Yeah.
Dude.
That is, look at the screenshot. It's insane.
Dude, this is some classic like ARG shit. I
Yeah.
love this.
Because they've been doing this
them.
stuff with Warzone. Admittedly, I've fallen way off. But there were hidden bunkers and sounds and codes. Like, there's a lot
They did that
of
weird Attack on Titan crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
weird stuff. And I think it's smart.
Yeah. I can just imagine a battle royale map with like Godzilla just stomping across. You imagine like you're doing the whole like hide in the bathroom with a shotgun trick and you just get stepped on.
Well, it'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun if there was some mode where you had to stop him.
Yeah.
And it's like, you probably won't. You know, it's like most matches you're going to lose, but like you get more XP or you have a good time. But like every now and then, like those are the Twitch clips that resonate. It's like, no, they did it. They actually stopped. It's cool. Have you seen the animation? He like falls over. Like, it's pretty cool.
What's curious about it to me though is like the Toho, like, and the Godzilla people, they've got rules. Like Godzilla
Right.
isn't supposed to eat people. Like he's only allowed to eat fish, stuff like that.
The
So I'm
island
like,
has been nuked, Isla. I want to give you that info.
in Call of Duty.
Yes.
In the Warzone, yeah.
A different
Okay.
one of the maps was nuked.
True. I remember
Godzilla
that.
can definitely like step on people, I think, but not allowed to eat people. They're like a bunch of weird rules. So I'm interested to see if they'll have to follow those.
Yeah. I wonder too if it'll be the map is shrinking is its own thing, but then Godzilla has a path.
Oh.
You know,
Right.
Godzilla's going forward
Divide.
and he has a clear
That's
path.
it's like the trench run mode from Battlefront. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the enemy. You know, your opponent's trying to do a very specific thing. You know, and you'd have to like keep getting past all the barriers to get to them.
I want to see a video where 100 people get together and they just keep shooting Godzilla like nonstop, try to take it out. It's so good.
Also this week, side-scrolling VanillaWare strategy game Grim Grimoire is getting PS4 and Switch remaster. So
cool.
far, only
Cute.
announced for Japan.
Great games. Odin Sphere,
Yeah,
Dragon's Crown.
I
Good
did
stuff, good
preview and
stuff.
review of that back at GT on PS2.
Heck yeah.
Randy Pitchford purchased the Magic Castle in Hollywood. At first, I laughed and it was like, "Of course he did."
Yeah, of course he did.
But then I read the article and I'm like, everyone's grateful because like Hollywood's
and
getting bought
Teller,
up, so
it
it's
was-
like
yeah, and
they
then
basically
Teller-
saved the place. Yeah.
yeah.
Penn and Teller giving the endorsement was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're they're into this.
Well, it's even just the
It's
Magic
part
Castle.
of the association or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Magic Castle is very important to me. I was born and raised in LA. It's a beautiful site. It's placed really well, and it's not something you can move. You can't be like, oh, let's put this in Van Nuys. Like, no, it has to. It's a building that's doesn't. It's like, oh, it's just a regular house. And then you go in, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. It's like Disneyland, where you're like, where's this building? That's clearly not the thing I just saw.
I'm not famous enough to have ever gone.
But like the head, but the head, there was a lot of skeevy people that were involved in that, and I think it was kind of the old guard, and it was I knew like some people that Bonnie Gordon, I believe, is a singer who's done a lot of gaming stuff, did like D&D stuff, and she's sung there before. But a lot of staffers were like, yeah, weird vibes there. The people got fired, and so I think he like, hey, but at least we know this guy. It's just kind of like a nice transparent, like, yay, because magic's great, and a lot of magicians in California, like on the West Coast, like if you can work there once a year, that's a huge deal. Like that's a bit like if you can't, it's tough. It's one of those kind of bars that makes you.
A friend of mine is a magician at the Magic Castle.
Nice.
And I reached out to him for comment, and he was like, I have details. It'd be better if we talked on the phone. And then we didn't have a chance to like do it because that was like yesterday that I reached out. So yeah, it sounds like there's something to it, but I have to. I'll get more intel later. But
Nice.
It's so
Magic
cool.
Castle's sick, dude.
It's really cool. Good food too.
QB, you'd love it.
I've always wanted to go. My whole life, I've wanted to go. No
next
joke.
time we go, I could
Hubert?
try to bring you.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
Nice.
get this guy.
Hubert, last time-
I've legit always wanted to go.
Last time we were there, we hung out with Jason Sudeikis for 2 hours and played Guess the Tune with the ghost piano, and he was very, very depressed.
Dang.
Watching a magician fail at the Magic Castle is a very special experience.
Whoa.
Watching a trick just not work at all.
I don't want that.
and then the
Jones.
show just has to go on, Like
I
I
don't
saw a dude do a
want
thing with a bird, and the bird just took off. No, it's just like, sorry, dude. Like not outside, It like went into the audience, up into the corner of the room, and it was like, "There's your act, man. Sorry." But I also saw the coolest magic trick I've ever seen in my entire life. Close room. They have the small room at the Magic Castle is the big one because there's like 10 people, and so you're you guys doing magic right there, and like
That's sick.
and he was just like, "Oh, is that your card?" And the guy's like, "No." He went, "Really? Different card." I was like, "What?" His hand was that close to his face, and he just did that. He didn't move his fingers. His sleeves were rolled up. Yeah, different card. It's like,
They're literal.
Was that Harrison Ford clip where like David Blaine does a trick, and he's like, "Get out of my house."
It's literal magic, dude.
It's witchcraft, man. It's
yeah,
creepy.
it's for real.
Also buying land. Nintendo spent $39.8 million on land to build a new R&D office alongside its existing HQ in Kyoto, to be completed by 2027. The next-gen version of The Witcher 3 has been delayed indefinitely as CDPR has taken the project back from the team at Saber Interactive to work on it in-house.
I saw they just commented on this today.
Oh,
did you see
they?
the follow-up?
Is there something new?
They just said that, it's not in development hell. Everyone is saying it's in development hell, delayed indefinitely and all this. And it's like, everything's fine. We're just doing it in-house, and it's going to take a little longer.
Right. So now, I don't know if you know this detail, but the team that was actually working on it is in St. Petersburg, Russia. Oh. So that's the thing I thought they hadn't commented on. They might still not have. Is like whether they took it back from them
That
just because
was
of the war
sub
and everything.
headline.
Yeah.
They did not comment on Russia.
Got it.
Yeah.
I trust him.
That was like a fun but did you know this detail? Like little tete-a-tete that you guys
Would you
have.
like to know more?
While we're still waiting for Halo Infinite updates, a big update has been made to Halo Master Chief Collection, adding the Flood Fight variant to ODST, cross-platform co-op to Halo 3.
That's so cool.
As well as 17 new skulls across Halo 2, 3, and ODST.
That's sick. Sphere Hunter was actually hyping up the Flood mode and said it's the closest we've gotten to Halo survival horror.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just hyping it up.
Nice.
Yeah, she was into it.
And then Eiyuden Chronicle Rising,
Woo!
the prequel to the main game, got a release date for May 10th. Also going to be on Game Pass.
Woo!
And if you're wondering, what the heck is this? It's a fast-paced 2.5D action RPG with town upgrading elements and serves as a companion to 100 Heroes,
Woo!
which is coming next year.
Woo!
So is this like what we were talking about with like a case...
Dead Rising Case
Dead
Rest,
Rising
yeah.
Case
Yeah, yeah.
Zero type mini game before?
It's almost a
Seems like
direct
it, yeah.
direct analog to the Bloodstained thing. Curse of the Moon or whatever.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Look, I mean, different graphical style.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Hyped
I
on
haven't
it.
seen a whole lot of it. It's been hard for me to find footage of it. But
And it's cool because like Curse of the Moon can't even be called that anymore. It's its own franchise. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's-
Right.
We've had more Curse of the Moons than like, Ritual of the Nights.
True,
So,
yeah.
It's don't make another Ritual of the Night. Just make another Curse of the Moon. No, make both.
It's time for love and respect. Love and respect. From Kristen G. Rosario. Hey there, allies. My question today is this. What is the video game score or soundtrack you believe a lot of people overlook? For many years now, I have always loved the original soundtrack for the 1996 Tomb Raider. I grew up the soundtrack for years, having the Tomb Raider series be the connection for me and my siblings and my father with video games. It was the first time I realized that an orchestra that's normally used for grand blockbuster films could make such astounding music for video games. The main menu theme alone is an unforgettable song that stands the test of time. Nowadays, the entire score for Tomb Raider seems to get forgotten, buried underneath greater PS1 scores such as Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil 2. While I have nothing against those scores, it feels like as time goes along and as gaming music gets more grand, what I grew up with will only be remembered by a handful of people.
I can hum it right now. I remember that was like the level with water. So there's a lot of like
Sick.
into water and like.
I love that game.
So
And it was
hard.
cool because it was like,
Yeah.
I remember Half-Life doing this where there's just like not a lot of music, but when it comes in, like, it really kind of highlights like, because that was a confusing game potentially. And so like you would go into, climb up and just like, music started. Okay, I made it. You're like, this is where I should be. It's easy to like get turned around and like go the wrong way.
Yeah, just upload it. I don't have a.
It's really celebrated, but the game is still kind of underground. Shenmue? I don't know. I think
music?
Yeah, I think the Shenmue music is phenomenal, and you never really hear it in like best of discussions.
Sure.
I adore the music from Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Dear
yes,
Esther.
yes, yes.
Wow,
I
great
like
calls.
will sit and listen to them.
Phenomenal calls.
I like sing along to Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Like often love them.
I feel bad because like Bully is one of mine, but I think I brought it up like
Yeah, you've definitely brought it
5
up.
times in the last year at
did
Easy
it on
Allies.
Soundtrack Club, yeah.
It was. I have brought it up here a lot, but yeah, it's one of those that I go back to and it's like creepy but playful and.
The
Also,
one,
Suikoden. Shout out to
yeah,
Suikoden's music. Ugh, I love
Don't
it.
sleep on Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Yeah. Cute.
yeah, that one's definitely recognized for
Jet
sure.
Moto
Yeah,
1.
Two that I had thought of one earlier today and I actually went back and listened to, and the other one just while we're talking is one is Starhawk. Remember the sequel
like,
to Warhawk?
PlayStation one.
Yeah, PlayStation
Campaign was
3, I
so
think.
sick.
Yeah. Christopher Leonards, who also did some of Mass Effect 3's music, did the score for that, and it's got a real like good like kind of Firefly vibes of like this mix of like old west, but then like also these cinematic strings and all of the orchestral stuff.
Starhawk. Put that on that PS Plus service. Oh my goodness.
And then the other one when we were talking about like things that were good but seem to like as time goes on start to get forgotten. When you're talking about the main theme for Tomb Raider, I was thinking of the Medal of Honor. Michael Giacchino.
God.
Oh
Oh
yes.
my God,
man,
Medal of
yeah.
Honor.
That's
Dude,
the-
the original
yeah.
and Allied Assault for
Yeah,
sure.
my
Yes.
experience was Frontline, but yeah, it's still
Yeah.
amazing.
It-
Yeah.
What a call.
OG dude.
It's like
Day of
better than the
Defeat
game.
Also.
It kind of elevates the game a little bit. It's like dude, I love Star Wars, but like without that music, I don't know. It would just be a different thing. You know,
Yeah,
it just wouldn't
absolutely.
quite, you know.
Jaws, of course.
And so yeah, you put in Frontline on the PS2, right? Like you,
Yeah, PS2,
You
GameCube,
put that game, Destiny,
maybe
you boot up
Xbox?
that menu, and it's like, oh my god, here we go. Like I've watched really good World War II films that don't get to the gravitas of like 5 seconds into that theme, just looking at like a press start, like oh here we go.
Spielberg.
really
Yes,
good
it was
score.
on Xbox.
I don't know if Spielberg helped on Frontline, but I know he was involved in the original and
Right.
Allied Assault.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Good picks.
Good stuff.
From Camille Ramos. Hello, allies. During the LEGO Star Wars stream, I remembered a long time ago when that Star Wars pod racing game was out in the arcades.
Super Bombhead. Oh no, sorry, different
out
game.
in an arcade I used to go to, and it has this sick cabinet that was a pod with weird cranks that you had to use to control the pod. And I used to love that. And people would watch me play because very few people there understood that weird controller. So I had a lot of fond memories of that game. When I saw it was on Steam, I bought it. And replaying, I started noticing that, as you probably know, the game was actually pretty bad. So my question is, do any of you have any games that were enhanced by the experience of where or how you played them, but the games themselves were actually pretty bad? My first thing was Darkened Sky, Trash Babies.
Yeah, baby.
Watch
I was
Trash
going to say,
Babies.
anything we play for Trash Babies or a stream most of the time, or at like Easy Living.
Oh, Shrek.
Two gimmick arcade games that come to mind that are freaking awesome, and I'm obsessed with them. But if I really think about it, are they that good? Silent Scope with the sniper rifle. And Police 911, where you had to dodge the
That
bullets.
I don't know.
Oh, there's like a police training game that I played a
That's
lot of.
Point
It's like
Blank, I think.
Okay, yeah. Like the little balls. Go
Yeah.
Okay.
Police 911, you had to like dodge the bullets. It's like so silly, but like it was a fun novelty. So
Yeah.
I think if I ever played that game again, it would be horrendous. But at the time, and given the circumstances, it was cool.
What's funny, this seems not necessarily on topic, but like The Void, which is this like, VR thing where they have a Ghostbusters one that I never did, and like some other weird. It was weird. It was like different like versions of Pepsi, like different different parts of like the U.S. got like Ghostbusters, but only in Texas or something. Where you're like, what? Why did it come? Like, why didn't everyone get?
Yeah.
But they would really test them for like certain audiences. And I did the Star Wars one, and it was like, this is really cool, but like obviously, are we ever going to get back to a point where I feel comfortable going somewhere and putting a whole bodysuit on and then going into close quarters that some weird family I don't know was in just 3 minutes ago? Like, I don't know, but like, that only worked because I was with friends and it was Star Wars and it was in that very specific thing. Like, you couldn't recreate that for a second anywhere else. Yeah. But it was really special and neat and like not hard. It wasn't. It was just pure role playing, like bliss. It was neat. There was like one puzzle section that I was like, wow, we're actually playing a video game. Oh, it's over. Okay. The rest is just like, okay, I don't need to shoot these things. We just got to walk over there. It's fine.
One thing I'm curious though with their story is because they talk about playing it on Steam versus playing it on the cabinet it was made for. And like to me, like sometimes people are like, oh, the controller was cool, but like the game itself isn't that good. And like, yeah, hold on a second, because the controller is like part of the game, right? Yeah. And so to me, it reminds me of like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. It's a side-scrolling platformer made to use the bongos.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's gonna control differently when the whole idea is that you're slapping these bongo drums. And I think they like put it out on Wii later with like the Wii remote and nunchuck, and I was like, no.
You could have the little bongos
I'm not
at
gonna
home,
do
I remember.
that.
Didn't they sell a little bongo?
Well, no, it was only a home game. But it used the bongos that were originally made for the rhythm game.
Got it.
Which was Donkey Konga.
Nice.
And they're like, let's use these again for a platformer. And they're like, and it was sick. And then that team went and made Mario Galaxy.
Hold the correction that you might have just typed. I don't know if it was Point Blank. I think it was Police Academy. Was the game you're thinking of?
It was like Police Recruit. Or it had like you're in training by a police trainer.
The
or
little
something.
thick balls and so yeah.
In an arcade, this has nothing. I don't know. This really doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. But it reminded me of that game in Tokyo when we were in an arcade and it was like a table flipping game.
Oh, sure.
And your character gets really mad and you like hit the table and you want to like hit the table really hard to build up your rage meter. And then you flip the table at the right time to like send everybody flying and get like enough points. And in one scene, you can like fling a guy out the office building and he lands in like a logging truck or something. Wild game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is it Afterburner 2 that John Connor's playing?
Afterburner, the first one.
Just the first one?
Yeah.
After that cabinet wrote checks that game did not cash. Like that cabinet,
that was my brother's favorite game.
That cabinet
up.
looked like the ultimate flight simulator. And then you get in, it was like, okay, this just a little more freedom that you were expecting because you're not on rails, but you were constricted.
You can
but
play.
This is a sexy looking machine.
You ready for this? In Shenmue 2, Brandon Jones, You go down into this crazy underground, and on like a pyramid mound in the middle of this random building with like spotlights shining on it is an afterburner cabinet, and you can play.
That's great.
There's another Sega one that I always forget the name of. It's like in space. I remember the bowling alley when I was growing up had one. And there was one where like they had like the solar, you're flying over the sun and like solar flares flying up.
Solar
It's like galactic force or something. I don't remember. But anyways, the cabinet, if you could even call it that, was this huge like rotating thing. Like it would rotate this way, but it would also rotate on its side. Like
Motion sick.
like a sphere rotating in all the different directions as you were flying around. It was bonkers. Like there were very few. Again, cabinets. What do you even call that thing like that? It was very, very cool. And they had it out like, because they had the arcade, but they had that one like out front by the lanes because like they wanted people to see it and put the quarters in for sure.
Shout out to the Discs of Tron. Dicks of Tron, not Dicks of Tron.
Clip it.
Discs of
Clipped.
Tron.
That is clipped.
You don't have to
That's
share
gotta
the
be the-
information, but if you just Google that really quick,
Yeah.
and we can talk about that after
Let's
the
not do
podcast.
that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'll share it on the podcast, but Al and I will have a conversation when we're done recording.
I don't want to look at no dicks.
All right. Good to be back. Good to be back.
Instead, let's play a game.
Oh!
All right, from Brandon K. Gann, who's been trying to get this one in for a bit. I tried to smooth out the instructions because we had some trouble with instructions last week. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more clear. Hello, everyone. Years ago, when I was first introduced to Fantasy Critics through Easy Update, I was curious, and after digging around through Open Critics' FAQ page and all the critics they use, Game Trailers still has a page. So what I've decided to do is take the most recent reviews from GT that OpenCritic used, but there are 3 months missing, and make a game out of it. Of these reviews, I'll leave the blurb below redacting giveaway terms with blank or adding helpful writing in parentheses, and your task is to guess who reviewed it and what the game is. Of the 4 reviewers, Bloodworth, Jones, Huber, and Moore. Ben.
More. Ben.
A couple of helpful tips. These games were released from October and November 2015, and I will present these in chronological order.
Ah, okay.
Bonus points if you can guess what the score was.
There's
So I'm not sure how we'll get the bonus
So
points in
all
there,
these
but I'll keep
games are from
track.
2015?
I think it goes
Oh, and
2015,
onward.
and then it goes backwards.
I was gonna say that's like the end of game trailers almost.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Well, no, actually, they do go forward. Yeah, okay. So they start October 12th and they go forward.
we got 2 good months out of 2016. 2 very good months.
Okay, so here's the quote. Guess who reviewed it, what the game was, what the score was. Lasting 10 to 12 hours with complex characters, diverse scenarios, stunning new locations, and memorable bosses, this $10 expansion stands out in a period when many DLC offerings feel like lackluster afterthoughts. Even though it's an expansion that returns to familiar areas, Blank doesn't feel like it's merely piggybacking on the main game, but has its own worthwhile tale to tell.
Ben.
Ben Moore.
Ben Moore.
Is it Minerva's Den? What year did that come out? No, that was
No,
way before that.
no,
that was before
it's Burial at Sea. Burial at Sea?
No points on any of these so far.
It's not Ben.
It's
huh?
Huber, I think. Is it Huber?
No,
It's you?
it is me.
Is it?
I don't know whether to give you points at this point, though. But
No, no,
No, no
no
points.
Yeah.
No points.
Yeah.
Points only for the first.
So yeah,
first
it
guess.
was me. So X on that, but still haven't got to the game yet.
2015, October 2015, and it's a DLC?
Dragon Age?
Blood and Wine?
Very close. It's
Hearts of Stone.
Oh!
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw you pictured you screaming Skellige in my mind.
Olgierd von fucking Everick. Yes! God, I love Hearts of Stone. Oh my God, Hearts of Stone and Blood of Wine. It honestly doesn't get better.
You want to guess the score?
9.5.
9.6.
It was 9. Just
9.
Flat 9.
Oh.
Okay, next one. 2 days later, October 14th. Above all, Blank perfectly captures one of the most essential parts of the series, that it prides itself on joy. It's a quality that overshadows its shortcomings. Too many Blank are overly serious and shove the same tropes down your throat again and again.
Huber or Jones?
That's Ben.
This is Ben.
This is
Really?
Ben. Yeah, this is Ben.
Too many
Oh,
games.
wow.
Shoving your
Too many games
down your
is a Ben.
throat. Shoving it down your throat is so
Jesus.
Ben.
The levity and unabashed enthusiasm of Blank creates a childlike wonder that's still enchanting more than 25 years after the original game.
From the top.
Okay.
Well, 25 years, 2016, so this is like some from the...
15.
Mega Man 11.
Mega Man 11?
What was the new one? 10? 11? What was the new
I guess Mega Man 11 could have been around then. This is going to be real hard to guess. Exactly.
Blood was disgusted by that guess. Mega Man 11.
King's.
Yeah, it's like E's remake or something.
Yeah,
like
or the-
it's some JRPG that came back. But there's been a lot of those for the last 6-7 years. Oh boy.
It is.
Final Fantasy 15.
Not yet. Nope. Dragon Quest Heroes.
Damn it.
The World Trees Woe and
The
Blight Below.
Wow.
Damn it.
Any quick guesses on that score?
Oh, that's a good 8.5 right there.
8.1.
8.7.
8.2.
Oh, no. I was so...
October 19th.
Those precious bonus points.
Blank is old school Blank. While the story can be convoluted and the controls make navigation harder than it should be, its dark take on death and atmosphere make it a Blank worth taking.
Huber?
It's definitely me.
Evil Within 2?
Yeah, so Brandon was pointing first.
Yeah. It's 2015, though?
2015, October 19th.
Because Evil Within 1 was 2014, I think.
Evil Within DLC or take on...
Inside or Limbo
Yeah, some
or
weird,
something?
some weird like medium-esque like gothic horror game that we don't remember too much.
No one's remembering.
Layers of Fear? No.
Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater.
Oh, Frame.
Good pull.
Wow.
Relevant to
Jeez.
Switch owners' interests.
Yeah.
Any memories on that score?
I think I gave it a 7.
7.4.
7.7.
7.5.
Oh!
5, shit. That's very generous, old me.
October 20th. Actually, one of the funny things looking back at some of the old, like early GT scores is just like how much harsher I was at certain points. It's like, oh, whoa. October 20th. The blank in blank means a lot of things. In one mode, you're pretending to actually blank in front of a packed arena, and in the other, you're constantly competing against the rest of the world online. Your blank overact sometimes, and you don't always get to pick the blank you want to play in blank. But there's always a ton of blank to play. So much is new from the blank perspective, to the streaming service, to the updated blank, that it feels like a worthy revival.
Oh. It's Gran Turismo. No?
Gladiator would fit, I feel like. Or
Streaming service.
Fighter?
What?
Streaming service?
Get out of here.
You're going
with
to
this.
hate how long ago this was.
is it Divergence or whatever that one weird one with the TV show?
All right, well, before we get to the game, anyone have an idea on who wrote that?
Is that you?
Blood.
Jones.
It was Jones.
Oh.
Got it, Jones.
Really? The live series of Dreams? No.
Disney Infinity.
Was that Steep?
No, because Steep was EZA.
Yeah. The live like Disney Infinity.
Streaming service?
It is Guitar Hero Live.
Oh yeah. Wow, I don't even remember. I remember obviously playing that and covering it
Arenas.
and talking to them about it, but yeah.
Scores?
8.0.
Guitar Hero Live?
8.0. Yeah, 8.0 sounds.
7.5.
Or was it? No, was it 7.6?
8.7.
Oh!
Well, that's the. It's one of those games that, like,
Soft,
on
John.
paper is doing a lot right, but just
Yeah.
no one's gonna care. Yeah, like that was. Yeah.
Sick.
They did. Yeah, I remember when Rock Band came back. It was like this service idea they have is actually like, something that you would put on at a party and not even play the game. You would just put cool music on in the background. It was like, yeah.
October 24th. Blank makes some strides forward with more substantial side quests and interesting story missions, even if the plot itself doesn't really go anywhere. Exploring this
Bloodworth?
recreation of blank is a marvel. You got that?
I got one.
What was it?
It was me.
Blood.
But the repetitive cycle of taking territory and gathering pointless collectibles quickly wears thin.
Shadow of War, Shadow of War, Shadow of War.
No, that was
Shadow of Mordor.
No, that was me.
While gameplay,
Damn it.
pillars in stealth and combat still feel lacking.
Mass Effect 3?
It's the most modern blank has been, but the blank doesn't quite bring the series into a new age.
The most modern.
Deus Ex?
Territories.
Mankind Divided?
Territories. What the
Territories,
hell? What the
yeah.
hell? It's not Shadow of War.
It's like Peace
Damn it.
Walker or something. It's like territories.
Oh, like Saints Row.
Or like, what's the
Ooh.
tactical JRPG that Damiani loves? I'm just thinking. I know it's not that, but like, kind of seems like that vibe.
Fire Emblem? What are you talking about?
No, where it's like war is hell and there's blood on the flowers and lots of tanks.
Valkyria?
Oh, Valkyria
Valkyria.
Chronicle? Or, yeah.
It is Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Oh,
Syndicate. I knew it. Damn it.
Whoa.
Damn it.
Score guesses.
That is one of the best Assassin's Creed. I will die on that hill. That isn't.
he
That
says
is,
it doesn't quite get there.
I think it's an 8.5 probably from Bloodworth.
6.
7.8.
Isla, 7.8.
What?
Wow, that's harsh for that game. That game is.
Never finished
I
it.
love Syndicate. Oh.
We got a few more. I might end up skipping a couple because we got a lot of them.
No, this is fun.
Okay. October 27th, Blank is a massive game that we intend to keep playing for the foreseeable future. There are parts that let us down, particularly the story, but it's hard to feel too stung when there's just so much fun to be had. Blank has a lot to prove, and it seems fully capable of doing just that. It's a pleasure seeing the series in top form once again.
Oh.
Phantom Pain?
I was going to say Destiny.
I was going to say Destiny 2, yeah.
Top form once again. Is that me, though?
Not you.
Is that not me? Oh, never mind.
Is it Ben?
Bloodworth.
It's Ben.
Yeah.
Isla's got that. So game.
Good to see this series.
I think you might be surprised.
Run it back.
In hindsight.
From the top.
It, Not from the top. Just like
The last
phrases.
the last sentence or two.
Yeah.
There are parts that let us down, particularly the story, but it's hard to feel too stung when there's just so much fun to be had. Blank has a lot to prove and seems fully capable of doing just that. It's a pleasure seeing the series in top form.
Pokemon something. It's a Pokemon game.
Xenoblade?
Is it a Neon Falcom game?
No, it is Halo 5 Guardians.
Wow.
Top form, Ben?
What do you think the score is? What do you think the score is?
8.6.
8.4.
He's gonna give it.
Especially
He
the
gave it a
story.
9. He gave it a 9.
You forgot it. It's a
Yeah.
9.
What? What?
You remember?
No, I just had a feeling, just the way he was
Didn't
talking
like
about
the
it.
story, but gave it a 9?
Wow.
Yeah.
October 30th. Yet when the credits rolled, we didn't feel relief, but rather disappointment that the adventure was over. There's a lot to criticize in Blank, but the combat and characters make it enjoyable regardless. Like many good role-playing games, it's easy to get lost in, whether that means fine-tuning your strategies or watching the various character arcs unfold.
Bloodworth.
This feels like blood, yeah.
At its best,
You said it first.
Blank reminds us that the Blank series still has left life in it.
That's the same phrasing. Could be Ben. My first guess was Huber, but
It's not you, Blood?
It was Ben, but I don't know what the second guess.
no.
Yeah. But the game is a hard one to pull out.
Good combat and characters. Is it a Tales game?
I was gonna say Trails of Cold Steel.
Tales of
Huberia.
Zilia.
Crossilia.
2. No, that was
Exilia.
Damiani. No, I rescind that. I know that was Damiani who reviewed those. Tales of Grace's F.
I actually reviewed that one.
Damn it.
It was Tales of
Vesperia.
of Zesteria.
Hysteria.
Any idea on that score?
8.2.
8.1.
7.8.
7.4.
Damn.
3 more. November 2nd. 2015's Blank is in many ways more grounded than other recent entries. You don't throw blank at
Call of
each
Duty.
other. Nope. And you don't jump off buildings. It's more about the inherent...
Just Cause 4?
Nope.
don't.
Just Cause 4 where you don't jump off.
I know.
buildings.
Shut up. I heard myself saying it.
It's more about the inherent excitement of blank and blank, the side of a mountain. The customization features are a welcome return, and the 5-layered career lets you play with different approaches to blank.
It's an extreme sports game, I feel like.
Some aspects of blank could use more variety, but it's a solid foundation to move this EA series forward.
Steep?
No,
Before-
Steep was a brand
too
new
early
thing.
for
It's just
Steep.
like it's off a mountain.
Trials?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean that would make sense, but it's
yeah.
It's Ubisoft.
I've had too many guesses. I'm out.
Have you guessed on who, though?
Jones.
Is that me? I guess.
Not Jones.
No.
Damn.
The mountain. The mountain.
It's not me.
Throwing.
There's
me
no
right
way
now.
it's
Is that you,
me.
Blued?
It was me.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah, no first guesses on
The
that.
Crew? 2?
Great guess.
Getting closer, but
Jumping off rooftops.
Jumping off
Is that,
mountains.
was that
there was no
Forza
jumping off
Motorsport
rooftops.
4?
Horizon 4. For Horizon 4. Or 3. What year is this?
November 2nd, 2015.
I don't know when any of them came out.
This is Need for Speed. We were just talking about.
Just Need for Speed, full stop.
Yeah.
That's just the name
The
of
live
game?
action one?
The live
Yeah,
action one with
I
the
really
5
like it.
characters.
Crap.
Damn it. I should have had that.
Score
EA,
guesses?
right. 7.
7.8. 7.8.
7.3.
7.0.
8.3.
Whoa!
Nice. Great review, Blood. You weren't falling for the memes there. Everyone always made fun of the live action, but it's like under that game is solid.
Gotta play some Guitar Hero tonight. gotta make up.
2 more. November 2nd, blank strikes the perfect balance between technical blank and blank. Minor online issues hold it back, but the moment-to-moment flow of each blank, the huge roster, and the stellar tribute to blank all combine to
Ben
make
Moore.
this a must-play
It's Ben Moore.
for anyone remotely interested in blank.
Ben Moore.
Like Mortal Kombat or
Fighting
something?
game.
It sounds like a
not
Smash
Ben?
Brothers or something.
It's not Ben.
It's me,
It is Huber.
and it's Injustice 2.
It's not Injustice.
Killer Instinct?
It's Arms.
Arms.
I've
That was
o-
way after
I've
GT.
only reviewed a handful of fighting games.
It is Huber. It is WWE 2K16.
Oh!
Yo, 16, I think that's the one with Stone Cold on the cover. That one was decent.
What's the score?
8.4.
8.0.
7.8.
8.2.
I knew it was 8.2.
Last one. November 5th. There's a lot going on in blank, and all of it is a blast to play, showing new ways to stave off series fatigue.
Jones.
Ben.
It is Jones.
I thought Jones too, yeah.
Stave off series fatigue.
What game? Oh, this is going to be...
Just that one sentence? There's a lot going on in blank?
Say it
a lot
again,
going on.
say it again.
There's a lot going on in blank, and all of it is a blast to play, showing new ways to stave off series fatigue.
Call of Duty.
A lot going. I'm reviewing Call of Duty. Is
Call
it
of
COD?
Duty.
Oh.
Advanced Warfare. Infinite Warfare.
Black Ops 2. Black Ops 1.
Well, I reviewed
Ghost
the
Recon.
Troy Baker one and the one before that, I think.
The one with the
Those are my
Avenged
Ghosts.
Sevenfold.
No, Ben
No,
was
not
Ghosts.
Ghosts, yeah.
Ben was Ghosts.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
I said 2 and 1. That equals 3.
There is a lot going on.
Score?
8.8.
8.8.
8.5?
9.2.
9.2.
I think is the highest of this whole bunch.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good game. Thank you,
Fun.
Brandon.
Fun one.
Specifically, I think more than knowing who did what or whatever, just that like 4-week span of time was really interesting to
a
examine.
lot in
Very
there, yeah.
wild.
It was like, oh,
yeah.
these are all at the same time. I'm gonna know one of these.
It's time for bets. Before we get to points, I forgot we didn't give a winner. Huber got the most points on that game. During the
Oh,
winners bet.
yeah.
Victory.
Gotta come up with prizes or something for those little games. Figure out what to do. But for this week's bet, Glover is getting a remastered release on Steam.
Woo!
This time next week, I'm going to go to Pico Interactive's Twitter page and look for the most recent Glover-related tweet. How many likes will it have? Brandon Jones.
Who am I playing for? Who am
You're
I?
on-
Oh, that is a question.
What sound am I making at the end of this?
I don't know.
I think you're a guest now. You're
Yeah,
on.
I think
you're
you're-
on
maybe
the,
you're a sea lion.
Mercenary.
You're on the stinky whatever the
I
hell.
swapped. Oh,
Traitor.
cool. 101.
101.
Also works this way.
Michael Huber.
187 Demolition Man hype.
Yo.
Murder, death, kill.
Murder,
Death,
kill.
kill.
Isla Hinks.
That's upside down. 434?
Nice. And then I went 211. So we're both on the high end. Last week's bet, Back 4 Blood's Tunnels of Terror DLC, released on April 12th, and it includes the No Hope difficulty.
No hope.
We had Huber. You can go and watch this afterwards. We had Huber
Should have gone left.
Yeah.
go through and try to survive without shooting anything or using any items. Just trying to make progress through the horde, through the map. It did not go well. Last week, Ben bet that we would last 7 minutes.
Wow.
Brad bet that we would last 1 minute. Isla bet that we would last 42 seconds. And I bet that we would last 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Huber lasted 43 seconds.
Oh,
Isla almost nailed
missed it by one.
Oh.
bringing the scores to Massive Chubs 7, Splish. The Loader Sea Lions 5.
Let me be the only one that did 2 noises. I'm out!
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Patreon is how we exist. It's how we're funded. It's how everything around here gets done. It's how we pay the internet. It's how we, That shouldn't be that funny, but it is. We'll just keep going. It's how we pay for gas to get here when there's lots of traffic every day, it's how we are able to present this podcast for free to people who can't pay for it. So everyone who is able to chip in and support is doing the legwork for the people who can't. Whether you're watching reviews or watching this podcast or watching our various shows, that's all paid for by our patrons. And at the $1 tier, you get to see this podcast without any ads. And you get 2 bonus love and respect questions. And then if you go up to the $5 tier, you get the podcast early, and you also get to submit to love and respect. And then we have the $20 tier who are watching right now. Get the behind the scenes look as we screw things up and get ready. And then at the very tip top, we have our shout out tiers.
Not the tip top.
We have, tiers.
Well,
I said
tiers.
3.
You said
Yeah.
tiers. Forgiveness, please.
And this month's shout-outs, we have Javawabs, El Thanis, Greg, the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb, Togi Crawford, Nick, Raymond Wheeler III, Zatwan Doot, and Anna Croft. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Isla, you won this week's bet.
Hold on.
You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to repeat, or just popped in your head. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign-off.
Well, heck, since it was a Glover bet, and in anticipation of the Trash Babies Recycled we're going to do of Glover, the remastered, watch Trash Babies. We did Glover, and it was ridiculous. Trash Babies is a Patreon exclusive show that we do, and it's fantastic, and I love it, and I really have fun doing it, and I hope you enjoy it. It's on Patreon. Final word. The menus for Bag for Blood are too confusing.
Yes.
Humor is collapsed. Good night and good game. Bye. Do it.
So what do I do? Am I just running away?
You just move.
Yeah, just move forward.
But don't attack.
Yeah.
Can I change directions?
Yeah,
Can I
you can
dodge?
change-
You can
change
jump and
directions,
whatever.
You can dodge, you can jump.
Okay.
You just can't attack
Yeah.
or heal or anything.
No shots, no hits, no items.
But I can progress.
Right.
Or
Okay.
can you?
We're gonna try. Oh my god. This is insane already. Holy crap. No hope mode.
No hope.
No fate, but what we make.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're going.
Yeah, I mean, technically he's not in danger yet, but there we go.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Holy cow.
Just gotta dodge, dodge.
Dead end room.
Oh, no, yeah, that was a...
That was a bad call. That was a terrible call.
It's to the left. Yeah, now you're right.
Hubert, no.
They can res him.
Yo, res me. Yo, res me.
Yo.
Res.
Docbot.
Res, go! Go!
Okay, there
That's
it
a dead.
is.
That's a dead. Holy crap.
43 seconds.
All right. That right turn really screwed me up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
If I had gone left, probably could have got another 10 or 20 seconds.
Team's doing pretty decent, though.
Yeah, they're hanging in. Go bots, go.
Shout out to the Discs of Tron.